That radio chick Cheryl Lee here with you. Welcome to the Still Rocking It podcast, where we'll have news, reviews and interviews with some of our favourite Australian musicians and artists. Today I share a chat I had recently with founding member of pop, funk and new wave band formed in 1983, Kids in the Kitchen's Scott Caan. Seen regularly on ABC TV's favourite pop music series Countdown, says everything 80s is new again, and I tend to agree with him. He's teamed up with Brian Mannix from the Uncanny X-Men, Dave Sterry from Real Life and Fred Lonergan from the Machinations. And they are headed to a town near you with their absolutely fantastic, absolutely 80s tour. What else has Scott Caan from Kids in the Kitchen been up to lately? Let's find out.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick, and I'd like to welcome to the show today Scott Caan, Australia's pop, funk, new wave band from the 80s, Kids in the Kitchen. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. We may remember your great track of hits, Change in Mood, Bit of Desire, Something That You Said, and Current Stand from 80, 84, 85. I thought we'd have a little look at what Scott Caan is doing lately. But before we do, maybe we can just find out a little bit about you. When did you realise, Scott, that music was going to be in your destiny, that music was your thing?
I probably would have been about 14, 15. So I was kind of riding motorbikes up until then. And then I met this guy from school that played guitar at 14, 15, like amazingly. And I was just mesmerised by what he's achieving with his guitar. And he then said to me, "Why don't you get a bass and come and play in my band?" I said, "Oh, well, I'll try." So I did, and I wasn't much good. So then so I'll just get chops playing with another band at school. And they were pretty average, and so I thought, "Oh, I've got a bit of chance there." I went along on the bass along there, and they said, "Oh, you're not much of a bass player yet. Can you sing?" And I said, "I don't know." So I started screaming in tune, and the rest is history.
So you didn't know that you were a good singer?
Yeah, well, I don't think I was a particularly good singer then either, but I just screamed in tune really well. So that's kind of what you did back then, you know. And then as things went on, I became better at it, and it progressed to there. And I went from Blackburn Tech, where I kind of did my schooling, to Oxfield TAFE to do drama and media, where I met the first Kids in the Kitchen guitarist, and the rest is kind of history.
How did you guys all get together, and where did the name Kids in the Kitchen come from?
we got, I guess I met the guitarist at Oxfield TAFE, and then he found some other players, the guitarist Greg Dorman, who's the first guitarist in Kids in the Kitchen, who wrote, with the band, he wrote Change Your Mood and Bit of Desire, Something You Said, off that first album, and we just used to rehearse at this university share house, and we kind of delegated to the kitchen, and there's a bit of a running joke about being kids in the kitchen, to the point where we got our first gig really quickly, and we didn't have a name, and we thought, "Oh, we'll just run with Kids in the Kitchen until we get a name," and it took off really quick, and we kind of stuck with the name. So there you go.
Oh, and it did, 4 hit singles in the top 20 in 3 years. And then, of course, from the album Shine, one of the biggest albums of 85 in Australia. So it all happened quite quickly. And you guys supported the Australian leg of the Culture Club tour. That would have been great. How was that?
Yeah, it was great. It was their first run, and capacity crowds. We playing in front of about 10,000 people a night, thereabouts. I think that was Rod Laver. I think it's about 10,000. But it was a blast, and was received quite well.
Still Rocking It podcast with that radio chick Cheryl Lee. Well, that might be our cue for a song, I think. How about some Culture Club, Karma Chameleon? We'll be back with Scott Caan from Kids in the Kitchen in a little bit.
We don't do a lot of shows with Kids in the Kitchen. We just keep that very special. But mind you, we're thinking of going out a bit more this year. I mean, we've got some shows coming up in June, June 3 and 4, one at the Corner and one at Bannockburn, the Railway Hotel, the Corner Hotel, the institution there. We're playing one there. So looking forward to that. It's just around the corner. But yeah, wear a few hats in the business now, play with, a few different collectives, and, 80-centric, that is. So 80s is the gift that keeps on giving. It's great,
I know. 80s is the new 20s.
Well, that's right, yeah.
Everything is 80s great again. Now, one thing that I learned, I mean, we know that you were very, very popular on Countdown and a popular cover boy in the Countdown magazine and even guest co-hosting, and that was one of our, favourite shows of the 80s. We had to run inside at 6 o'clock and turn the telly on and not miss it.
Still Rocking It podcast with that radio chick Cheryl Lee. Countdown, those were the days. Let's pretend we're teenagers again, run inside Channel 2 and let's watch Kids in the Kitchen live on Countdown. Change in mood. We'll be back to chat some more with Scott Kahn after this.
I did learn one thing, and I've just discovered Priscilla's Nightmare. I didn't realise that you had played in a rockabilly band. I've just been having a little listen, and it's fabulous. And now CC Rider, which is the opening track.
Well, it is. It was kind of pretty much an Elvis concept/tribute band. And I was offered a gig at,
that explains it.
We wrote a few originals as well in that style, released an EP. We had a residency at Inflation and it went really well. And the point where the record company said, you should go and do a record. And I said, yeah, why not? So we did. We did an EP. It came out pretty well. We did a couple of videos with it, and it's a lot of fun, and that's something else I'm kind of doing this year again as well. So great to have all these bands I've worked with in the past and things I've done in the past I can still presently do, which is great.
You did the tribute to the King in 2016. Did you know he was my very first boyfriend? Elvis. I loved him. So I think I'm going to play CC Rider, and then we'll be right back. We're back speaking to Scott Kahn, Kids in the Kitchen, Elvis fan and member of the Absolutely 80s. So Absolutely 80s began in 2006. You joined a little bit later with Brian Mannix, Paul Gray, David Sterry and Tim Rosehorn. Geez, that must be a lot of fun.
We did after the 206 Countdown tour in Australia. We had a lot of fun playing with, seeing our old buddies in the old days. Because a lot of times when you were touring back in the old days, you never had a chance to really hang out. So everyone kind of from the 80s and the 70s on the one tour, so there's plenty of time to get it, and that went around Australia as well, and it's a big success. The Countdown Spectacular tour. Out of that, Brian and I decided we'll go out on the road and do some shows with our buddies, and we kind of, we've been doing it now for 15 odd years with different people that, whether it be Dale Ryder from Boom Crash Opera or, we've actually got one coming up on the 28th of May at the Bridgeway with Brian Mannix, myself, Freddie from the Machinations, David Sterry from Real Life, and with our Absolutely 80s band. So we're looking forward to that one. It's a lot of fun. Really enjoy it and enjoy each other's company, which is more important. We're all from the same retired footy team, so to speak. We kind of do that most of the year in different forms. So that's another 80s gift that keeps giving. So it's it's good to be working. Yeah,
that's right. I've been to at least 2 or probably 3 over that time. I remember a great one at Norwood Live here in Adelaide, and my friends and I, we all dressed up as Madonna, as you do, and had a fabulous night. So we really thank you for bringing this show to our town. I know it was supposed to be part of our Fringe and it was delayed, so it's great to be finally welcoming you here at our iconic Bridgeway Hotel, as mentioned, and track your tickets down to that, and I shall see you down the front. You guys are then heading to Epworth, Reevesby Workers Club and Shoppingtown Hotel, Chelsea Heights Hotel in June.
Absolutely80s.com.au website. Check them down.
Yes, so get onto that. So there's the Absolutely 80s and there's the Made in Australia show.
Well, it's the same show, yeah.
Are they
every
similar?
Week, it's the Absolutely 80s presents. So
same show, yeah.
And so this year we're kind of winding up the Made in Australia show, which is us playing our big hits from our own big hits from the day, as well as some selected Australian 80s covers.
Fantastic. So I think we're going to go out with Scott's solo single, All I Want to Do. Thank you so much, Scott, for having a quick chat with me today. We are so looking forward to getting our leg warmers on. Just look for the chick dressed up as Madonna down the front.
Bye. Bye.
And all I wanna do is, baby, give myself to you.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Thank you so much for joining me on the Still Rocking It podcast. Hope to catch you again next time. Get out when you can, support Aussie music, and I'll see you down the front.